Hey, yo, everybody. This is going to be the 3-minute walkthrough of your skills test. So, somewhere in here, I will have a microphone. Right now, I'm going to plugged into 17 to talk into, and then I'll have a microphone set up for music for me to sing along to, as well as a headphone. But say I have headphones plugged into 5 here, or it might be 8 or something like that. And like I said, a microphone and for me and a microphone listening to some music for me to play along to. Check the playback engine. So I'm going to go up to setup playback engine, make sure that it says HDX, and then I'm okay. And then it says import IO settings. So I'm going to go setup IO and do import settings, Studio A, main. That's more recent. Let's do that one. Delete unused buses. Yes. Okay. Then it says patch bay. Mic patch from studio to preamp. So I'm going to come over here. And I was plugged into 17. So I need to go tracking room mic panel B17. I'm just going to use 5052 mic pre-input. You go into the input, and then the next thing on the list says patch bay preamp output to Pro Tools HDIO. So I will go preamp output to down here at the pink where it says HDIO input, and I'll just go into number 1. And then you'll repeat that process again for the music that I'm going to play along to. I'm going to skip that right now. And then it says, don't forget phantom power. So I'm going to come over here and make sure phantom power is on number 1 because that's what I did. And then properly adjust preamp settings. Check, 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 check. Let me try to hold this and do this at the same time. Turn up the red. Check, check, check. Check, 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 check. Okay, that gets me in the ballpark. And then ensure, let me go ahead and create my tracks. I'm going to go Shift Command N. I'm going to create 2 mono audio tracks. One for Vox, one for music. I'm going to look at my command equals and look at my screen. And they can be input 1 and 2 if that's what you patch to, and then outputs, same thing, output 1, output 2, so that's where they show up on the board. Now I can come look at the 5088 and make sure that their input is to tape, so that Pro Tools HD is feeding the console here, and we make sure that this tape button is down. Make sure that the channels are assigned stereo. Make sure that the stereo master fader is up. Mix is assigned. We're listening to stereo mix in the monitor control section. Now, let me go ahead and double check. I'm going to input monitor this. And check, 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 check. Okay, I'm hitting about -20, a little over actually. Let me bring it down a touch. Check, check, check. Check, 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 check. Okay, that's good. Now, I should be able to unmute, turn up the control room volume. Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. Okay, so I can hear it in the control room. That's good. Now, let's see. Let's keep going here. Talkback assigned as needed. If you're using the talkback to aux 1, 2, you need to make sure that's hit. I think it's just smart to make sure aux 1, 2 and aux 3, 4 are set. That way you're sending to both headphone amps at the same time, both the ART and the PreSonus. Needed aux sends on and pre-fader. So I'm only using 2 channels, so I'm going to go on, and again, I'm not sure which one of those things I'm going to use. I might even just turn on both of these, make sure that they're both pre-fader. Make sure that they're both set to pan. I can even turn these sends follow pan if I want to. And so all of those are ready to go. Create a properly customly adjusted headphone mix. And so I want, as I say, this is where my vocals are. I want this much vocals. I want this much music. If I'm going to the Art, if I'm going to the PreSonus, then again, this is my vocals. This would be my music on aux 3.4. Probably use the talkback. Here is the talkback button. You can't read it anymore, but that's where it is. And then the talkback level is right here, if that's too loud or quiet, depending on what somebody needs. Know which headphone amp feeds each appropriate jack in the studio. So that's where I'm going to come over here. If I'm plugged into number 5 on that side, panel B 1/4 inch is the headphone return. 5 means it's getting its signal from Art channel 5. Art channel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this one would be feeding channel 5 in the studio. If I was plugged into 8, 8 is getting its feed from the HP60 or the PreSonus channel 2, which means that would be HP60 PreSonus channel 1, channel 2. Okay? So depending on which headphone input is being used, that's how you make sense of that. Playback, know what headphone amp feeds each appropriate jack. We just talked about that. Playback sound from Spotify on the speakers. If we're going to listen to some music, that's where you listen to external 1, okay? And we can play that in the speakers and adjust between speakers in the studio. Remember, most of the time you're going to be using A, which is the Yamahas and the sub. But if you're doing some mixing, you can listen to monitor B and the ATCs. And then bounce and analog mix back into Pro Tools. So if I just really quick here go yo, 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 1, 2, 1, 2, and I make sure that's okay, I'm going to hit record. Yo, 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 1, 2, 1, 2. And I look at it, I have recorded that into Pro Tools now, right? And the way that you create a bounce of an analog mix in the board is I'm going to take and come over here to the patch bay, and I'm going to go from what is labeled, sorry about all the movement, I hope you don't get sick from watching this, patch out of 5088 main out, left and right, into two just HDIO inputs. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to do 25 and 26. Okay, doesn't matter. Just pick 2 that's not being used anywhere else. And then on the board, I'm going to go Shift Command N. Sorry, I know you're probably getting sick. And go stereo, audio track, create. This would be my bounce. And then I'm going to record enable that track coming in. Make sure that none of the other tracks are record enabled. All right, so this is my bounce recorded in. Make sure none of these other tracks are record enabled. Now if I hit record, I get the mix that I want. Okay, I want this much vocals and this much music. And then I go and I hit 3 on the numeric keypad to record. I didn't set my input for my bounce, which I set it to what? I set it to 25, 26, right? Man, look at me making all these newbie mistakes. And output, that's irrelevant right now. I don't need to listen to it. But I need my input to be what I patched into. My bad. Sorry, I'm trying to do this too fast. And now I'm going to record. Yo, 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 1, 2, 1, 2. And that is everything that you should need to do to get through your skills test. Let me know if you have questions, and we'll do this next week, okay? Bye.